Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Bhante.
Ah,
Good morning, Bhante.
good morning.
Saranai Bhante.
Good morning. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. I hope you all stop your noisy. You turn off your audio so that you all can hear me. Today I'm going to talk on Kosala discourse. It's called Kosala, second Kosala Sutta. This also is very profound discourse. I try to make it as simple as possible within the available time. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. Now, on that occasion, King Pasenadi Kosala had returned from the war front, victorious in battle, his purpose having been achieved. Now, this means that King Kosala had given to his daughter a very expensive piece of land. And Bimbisara's daughter, no, King Kosala's daughter, who married Bimbisara. And then when Devadatta tortured his father to death, after a very short time, Devadatta's mother also died. Bimbisara's wife also died. And then the property given to her, Devadatta wanted to claim. And Buddha thought this fellow killed the parents, father by torturing, mother out of grief of father's husband's death. Now he is very wicked person. I should not let him have this property. And then there was a war between Ajatasattu and King Pasenadi Kosala. Then in the first war, Devadatta won the battle. In the second war, he won the battle again. Then the King Kosala galvanized his army and then had a fight again with Ajatasattu. In this battle, King Kosala won. He won the battle. And that is why Pasenadi Kosala had returned from the war front, victorious in battle. That is the background. And his purpose have been achieved. Then King Pasenadi Kosala sent out for the park. Now he is very joyful and he wanted to share with joy with the Buddha. So he went by carriage as far as the ground was suitable for the carriage, and then he dismounted from the carriage and entered the park on foot. Now, at that time, on that occasion, a number of bhikkhus were walking back and forth in the open air. That is the time the monks had their noon meal, and in order to avoid sleepiness after a good meal, sumptuous meal, they did walking meditation. They were walking back and forth. King Kosala saw them, and then they approached these monks and said, Bhante, where is the Blessed One? Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, now dwelling. For I wish to see the Blessed One, the Arahant. Then the monk said, Great King, that is his dwelling with a closed door. There was a Buddha's perfume chamber. And pointing to that, and that is his room. Approach it quietly, without hurrying, enter the porch, clear your throat, and tap on the bolt. This is very special. You go there very quietly, clear your throat, like that, and tap on the bolt. Now, if we tap on the top, that is sometimes demon, that could be misunderstood to be demons because they tap on the top of the door. If it was, if the tap was at the bottom, then it would be snakes or other animals. And therefore this monk asked the king to tap on the bolt. So then King Pasenadi went quietly up to that Buddha's dwelling place and closed the door without, and he did what these monks asked him to do. Then Pasenadi Kosala, and then Buddha came and opened the door. The king Kosala entered the dwelling and prostrated himself with his head at the Blessed One's feet and covered the Blessed One's feet with kisses and caresses. Caressed, that is stroking, kissing and stroking very gently, softly his feet. Then with his hands, pronouncing his name, Bhante, I am Kim Pasenadi Kosala. Bhante, I am Kim Pasenadi Kosala. Of course, Buddha recognized him, but King Kosala was so delighted to see the Buddha. But great king, what reason do you have for showing such supreme honor to this body, displaying such an offering of loving kindness? This body is not something perfumed body, fragrant body. This is a body made up of elements, 32 parts. This is subject to decay and death, and so forth. Why do you want to pay respect to this body? Then, then this Bhante, it is out of my gratitude and thankfulness that I show such supreme honor towards the Blessed One, and display such an offering of loving kindness. Why he was so grateful to the Buddha? Because King Kosala was once very obese person, overweight. Then when he went to see the Buddha one day with his nephew, and after meal, he was twisting and turning and yawning in pain. Then the Buddha asked, "What is the matter with you, Your Majesty?" He said, "I have pain. I came here just after my meal." Then Buddha immediately knew this fellow has eaten too much. He seemed to be a gluttonous, and therefore he advised the king to reduce his weight by reducing the quantity of food he consumed, which he followed. That advice he followed and reduced his weight. Now he is very delighted. He can he can lead the war and won it, and he was very delighted with good health. Buddha said when people eat mindfully, they will not have pain by overeating, and they also can live long. This is the Buddha's advice. Following this advice, he reduced it. Now, that is very simple part, the introduction. Now, let us go to the body of the sutta. Bhante, the Blessed One, Buddha asked him, "Why you want to respect me so much?" Then he said, "For Bhante, the Blessed One is practicing for the welfare of many people, for the happiness of many people. He has established many people in the noble method. That is, in the way of good Dhamma, in the way of wholesome Dhamma. This is why I respect the Buddha." Now, in addition to being grateful for his personal benefit, he was so grateful to the Buddha for Buddha making the Dhamma available to people for their happiness and establishing them in the noble truth. Because once you establish in the noble truth, you are bound to live in peace and happiness and liberate yourself from samsaric suffering. That is the noble friend's Kalyanamitra's duty. And Buddha performed that duty perfectly well. So King was very grateful to the Buddha for that. And then secondly, Blessed One is virtuous, of mature behavior, of noble behavior, of wholesome behavior, possessing wholesome behavior. So this nobody has any question or doubt about Buddha's virtues. His thoughts, words, deeds, all are in concordance, all are in agreement. So this is very difficult quality that you can find in any living human being, even divine being. And for this reason, King Kosala was respecting the Buddha. Now, thirdly, the Buddha has been forest dweller who resorts to remote lodgings in forest and jungle groves. So, Buddha, as we all know, was born under tree, attained enlightenment under tree, passed away under two trees, and most of his time, you can see in suttas that Buddha spent their time, most of the time, after meals, in forest. he liked the forest very much. Then, and this is for encouragement for others to live in forest life. So King Kosala happy about that, grateful to the Buddha for showing this example to others. Again, Bhante, the Blessed One is content with any kind of robes, armsuit, lodging as a medicine, and provisions for the sick. Now, these are the four basic requisites. Chivara, Pindapata, Senasana, Gilanapatya. These are the four requisites. For anybody, these are the basic requirements. And Buddha with content, whatever robe he received, he accepted. Whatever food he received, he accepted. Whatever lodging he received, accepted. Whatever medicine. He content with all these things. That is another wonderful quality. Then the fifth quality is the Blessed One is worthy of gifts, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offerings, worthy of reverential salutation, and supreme field of marriage for the world. These are the qualities of Sangha. So, what you call Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ujipati Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Avuneyo, Pavuneyo, Dakineyo, Anjali Karaneyo, Anuttaram Punyaketan Lokasa. These are the qualities of the Sangha. And Buddha is the highest person who is worthiest one of hospitality, worthiest one of gifts, worthiest one for offerings, worthiest one for reverential salutation, and the Buddha is the unsurpassed field of merit for the world. So, that is the fifth quality. Sixth quality is, again, the Blessed One gets to hear at will, without trouble or difficulty, talk consent with the austere life that leads to enlightenment of defilement, elimination defilements, that is conducive to opening up the heart. Now, when one wants to attain liberation, the Buddha was able to give talks very naturally, without any trouble, without having to think very deeply, with difficulty. He comes up with these talks, which open the listener's mind very easily to practice samatha, vipassana, meditation. He doesn't have to think of it very much. It just came naturally, spontaneously from his mind, because he knows how to give instructions and how to talk on these things. And his talks would open the heart very naturally. It's a wonderful way of encouraging people to practice his audience. What are the talks? Talk on fewness of desire, apicchakata, fewness of desire. On contentment, santutti kata, santutti. On solitude, viveka kata. On not getting bound up with others. That means not always engage in meetings, communities, sitting around, gathering, and gossiping. He would not encourage that. He would talk about solitude, practicing Dhamma. On arousing energy, Buddha would encourage the audience to practice, encourage, arousing their energy. On virtuous behavior, because the Buddha knew how valuable the virtue Sila is. Sila he considered to be like the earth on which all things exist. And he talked about concentration. He encouraged the audience, monks, nuns, men, women, to practice concentration, samadhi. And because samahitam chittang yatha bhutam pajanati, concentrated mind can see things as they really are. Then we don't have time to explain all this in detail, so I'm just giving you the summary. On wisdom, panya katha, panya. Wisdom is the wisdom of anicca, dukkha, anatta, rising and falling of five aggregates. And one will see with wisdom, this is not mine, this is not I, this is not myself. Buddha said, Evang etang yata bhutam panyayadisva. Seeing this is not mine, this is not I am, this is not myself. Seeing this with wisdom, this all are dependent on one would be disenchanted with desire and liberation. And this comes from wisdom. And then liberation. When you see develop your wisdom, this way you will be liberated from suffering, from greed, hatred, liberated. And on the knowledge and vision of liberation. Once you attain liberation, it is not like a dream, it is gradual attainment. When you attain the wisdom and when you are liberated, you will know that you are liberated. And that knowledge and vision arises. Then, another reason, the Blessed One gains at will, without trouble or difficulty, the four jhanas that constitute the higher mind and are pleasant dwelling in this very life. Now, without difficulties, without problem, Buddha attained four jhanas, number 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a higher mind. Higher mind means not ordinary mundane mind. Mundane is pure. This attainment is constitute the higher mind is pure, clean, imperturbable, without idiosyncrasies, steady, and imperturbable. That is a very high level of mental development. That is, all this we do with the mind. And mind knows all this very clearly. And mind can make the distinction between ordinary mind and higher mind. Okay, then again Bhante, the Blessed One recollects his manifold past life. The Buddha said this pure, clean, imperturbable, steady mind, he would recall his previous life. If somebody were to think I was in the past such and such and such, without pure, clean mind, he would have wrong views. because the mind is not clear, you get into all kind of things. Somebody can imagine, visualize. That is not the true knowledge. But the Blessed One, regularly, the Blessed One has purified his mind, cleaned his mind. With the purified mind, he was able to recall 1 birth, 2 births, 3 births, 4 births, 5 births, 10 births, 20 births, 30 births, 40 births, 50 births, and 100 births, 1,000 births, 100,000 births, many eons of world dissolution, many eons of world evolution, many eons of world dissolution and evolution. Now, that is Buddha saw the world, expanding world, contracting world, expanded world, contracted world. That means the universe expanding and expanded, and then contracting and contracted. This Buddha saw with his supreme wisdom. And he saw that in each of these eons, he was born in different forms. And he saw, I was so named of such a clan, with such an appearance, such was my food, such my experience of pleasure and pain, such my lifespan, passing away from that, from there, I was reborn elsewhere. And there too, I was so named of such a clan, with such an appearance, such was my food, such my experience of pleasure and pain, such my lifespan, passing away from there, I was reborn here, and so forth. Now you have to have an extremely powerful mind, pure and clean mind, developed through the practice of meditation, both tranquility and insight meditation. And in order to see this so perfectly clearly, nobody could see that except the Buddha. And therefore people who don't have any knowledge, they think, oh, there was no past life, there is no future life. They fool themselves. They cheat themselves. They don't know. Buddha said, those who don't know anything think that they are wise. For that reason, they are foolish. And those who know that they are foolish, for that reason, they are wise. Buddha said. And therefore, people have to be very careful. Without knowing everything, how can you say, such as I was, there's no rebirth and so forth? You don't know. You don't know. Without knowing, you can say, you can fool yourself and try to fool others. And Buddha was not like that. He was perfectly enlightened. And then again, Bhante, this is King Kosala's confession, reason for respecting the Buddha. Again, Bhante, with the divine eye, which is purified and surpassed the human, the Blessed One beings passing away and beings reborn, Blessed One sees beings passing away and reborn, inferior and superior, beautiful and ugly, fortunate and unfortunate, and understand how being fare in accordance with their karma. Why people are in these states, in various places Buddha spoke about, these beings who engaged in misconduct in body, speech, and mind, who reviled the noble ones, held wrong views, and undertook karma based on the wrong view, with the breakup of their body, after that, having been born in the plane of misery, in bad destination, in the lower world, in hell, but these beings who engage in good conduct by body, speech, and mind, who did not revile the noble ones, who held right view and undertook karma based on the right view, with the breakup of their body after death, having been reborn in a good destination in the heavenly world. Thus, with the divine eye, which is purified and surpassed the human, he sees being passing away and being reborn, inferior and superior, beautiful and ugly, fortunate and unfortunate, and understands how beings fare in accordance with their karma. For this reason, I pay respect to the Buddha. For this reason. And the last one, again, Bhante, with the destruction of the chains, the Blessed One has realized for himself with direct knowledge in this very life, the tenth liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, and having entered upon it, he dwells in it. Since that is so, this is another reason I show such a supreme honor towards the Blessed One. Blessed One, and display such an offering of loving kindness to him. When the Buddha asked, why do you want to pay respect to this body? So he gave the whole reason, 10 reasons, each of them. Actually, even one of them is enough to respect anybody. One of them is enough. But Buddha had so many of them. So King Kosala, it was his duty, his sort of a habit to go and see the Buddha every day. So maybe after a few days, since he was engaged in the war, he might have not been able to come and see the Buddha. Now, after winning the war, he realized the pain and suffering inflicted upon those victims, and regret he had in his own mind, greed he has in his own mind, hatred in his own mind. He began to appreciate the Buddha's supreme quality. My Buddha is free from all these things. Let me go and pay respect to him, expressing my deepest gratitude to the Buddha. That is how he came and expressed these things. And then he said, and now Bhante, we must be going. We are busy and having much to do. Of course, as a king, it is not very easy for a king to spend so much time with the Buddha, because they are always busy doing all the administration, giving orders, punishments, capturing countries, and listening to cases. And so busy man. So he said, I'm busy. Then Buddha said, okay, if you are busy, you can go. Now you have done very good job. So King Kosala paid respect to the Buddha and circumambulated. When somebody is very highly respected, the people who pay respect to that person make this circumambulation, that is, turning their right hand, they go around that respected object, like we do on Bodhi trees and chaityas, pagodas. They go round and round towards the clockwise to pay respect. So this is the end of the talk, friends. Now, I think uh, we have spent enough time. Now we want to have meditation. Okay? Okay. All right. By the way, today is yesterday, a day before yesterday was a very important full moon day that yesterday we observed was 3 months rainy season. Day before that we had the gathering of monks to do Uposatha Patimokka and therefore this is the first talk after Patimokka after this full moon day. The full moon day that the Buddha delivered his first sermon, and so forth. So, this is very important full moon day. Anyway, this is an auspicious moment for all of us to spend this memorable time meditating, to respect the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and in their name, we meditate to purify our mind. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds, whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth. May all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere. Neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another, as a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child. Even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or when they were awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous in endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. So let us meditate at least for 25 minutes. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the foolish, may I join always with the wise, until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering, may the fear-struck be free from fear, may the grieving be free from grief, so too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen from these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, friends, we started our Dhamma talk with the Buddha's wonderful, noble, supremely enlightened qualities. And then we started our meditation with metta. Now we want to end the session with metta. May all those who are in hospitals suffering from various diseases recover very soon, return to normal life, and practice Dhamma, meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May the doctors, nurses, hospital staffs, who are very compassionately taking care of these people, may also find time to practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who lost their loved ones may still be grieving, may they be free from grief, try to understand the nature of life, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in trouble spots in various places, war zones, poverty-stricken, discriminations, and so forth, may they also find time to practice Dhamma, understand the nature of life, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, western direction, northwestern direction, up and below, all of them be well, happy and peaceful. May they all attain liberation. From this, friends, we want to end today's session, and I hope to see you tomorrow and have time for QA.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank
Sadhu,
you,
Bhante.
Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu,
Thank
sadhu.
you for
Have a nice
continuing to teach us.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, very loud.
Thank
Sadhu,
you,
sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.